shout out goes out to our current channel members. If you were interested in picking up a channel membership for as little as $1.99 a month, head over to my channel profile and hit the join button to view all of the available perks. Thanks. Jay and Morro having some form of connection sounds absolutely outrageous at first, I know. This is because, on paper, Jay and Morro haven't exactly ever had any actual interactions throughout Possession, so it seems very unreasonable that these characters would have a hidden connection of sorts. With this being said, however, they actually do share something very interesting together, which is why today's video exists in the first place. Today, I would like to take a dive into this secret connection they have, and make sense of this entire situation, because seriously, at first, this entire thing seems kind of insane. Before we get into the main portion of this video, though, I would like to explain how I want to structure all of this. First, we'll be talking about the connection itself and what exactly it is I'm going to be talking about today. Then we will discuss this in more detail and I'll explain more information surrounding this entire thing. Now, to start things off, let's take things back to Season 1, Episode 10 to be specific. The outside details hardly matter too much. However, we need to take a look at one particular scene that came from this episode, and it involves Jay down in the volcano as the ninja are fighting these snakes, hoping to rescue Lloyd, who was at the time captured by the Serpentine, and also try and get their hands on a Fang Blade. During all of this, Jay audibly shouts out, quote-unquote, "wind," and creates a tunnel of wind of sorts, and uses this to his advantage during the battle. Now yes, before we even get any further, I know what you're probably thinking right now, and are probably commenting down below in some cases. Tommy Andreasen has already confirmed that this was a mistake on their part, and yeah, you are correct on that. But for the sake of this video though, and for the reasons we're about to be getting into, let's ignore that for now, as we have a very similar situation coming up next. Skipping ahead forward a few seasons now, all the way up to Season 5, Episode 2 to be even more specific here, the main villain of the season, of course that being Morro, used some form of lightning that was green. It should be noted though that he didn't audibly shout quote-unquote lightning or anything similar when using this power. After hearing all of this so far though, it seems very strange, right? I think that's probably what you're thinking right about now, and yeah, I genuinely couldn't agree more with those thoughts. I don't know if the writers did this with Morro later on as a callback to a previous mistake that happened in Season 1, or maybe there is just some form of deeper meaning to this that we are just all missing. Perhaps it's actually a Wojira situation where these two elemental powers are somehow connected to each other, but we don't know exactly how, and that's how Jay and Morro were basically able to use their powers in separate ways like this, and were able to kind of switch, in a way, which would mean that lightning and wind have a deeper backstory slash meaning slash connection that we just never knew about in the first place. Alternatively, maybe we're just looking into this too much, and Morro's instance of using somebody else's power was also a mistake on the writer's part. I know it seems very strange that this could have been mistaken somehow. I'm not sure how a character using someone else's power in this way can make it into the final cut of the show twice, but it is possible, I suppose, considering this did literally happen in Season 1? Question mark? There's another option I want to talk about here though, and this is going to be the last option we do talk about. And that's the fact that perhaps Lloyd's powers had some form of effect on this. At the time where Morro uses his lightning abilities, he was possessing Lloyd's body, and potentially also his powers to a degree. This would further explain how he was able to use a form of lightning power, as of course, Lloyd's elemental abilities can be considered to be a mixture of the four main ninjas' powers. This option does make quite a bit more sense, in my eyes at least, and helps as a workaround instead of just saying, yeah, well, it was another mistake. Again, Morro wasn't meant to use lightning here, so I think that can definitely work as a workaround to this, and it does help make things a little bit less awkward, and at the same time it makes a lot more sense. So I think that's just about going to cut it for this one. So in conclusion, Morro and Jay, the connection, it's definitely still a massive open gap, and there's a lot to potentially speculate on and you know, dive a bit deeper into. But for now, I think that's just about going to cut it for this video here. So I hope you enjoyed this little look into how two characters here managed to use each other's powers in a seemingly unintentional way. So yeah, it's kind of wild, but I thought it would make for a very interesting video today, and I hope you did all enjoy it. If you did, be sure to drop all of your thoughts down below, I would love to hear them. And if you did enjoy, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing a lot more like this, and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to watch my new content whenever I do post it. And with all of this being said, I will see you all very, very soon for my next one. Goodbye.